Welcome to DashBoard. It's a beautiful summer evening. It's the first night that all of you guys got to drive here in the daylight.
That is very true.
And not raining or snowing.
Oh, it really was nice.
Beautiful.
And the
day.
roads are pretty clean.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, a few more days of rain.
I had
Which
the
we're
top
going to
down.
get.
Should we have a special shout
have the
out
top
for
down?
Shawn tonight?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Tell us. You drove your car here.
I did. This is the second time I've had it out this year, but the first extended drive.
Nice.
As I pulled into Mr. Ryan's driveway here, it just ticked over 6,000 kilometers.
Hey.
Which means you're 6 times the average GT car owner in one season?
Yeah, one in a 15, 16 season.
Right. Yeah,
Or
exactly.
The opposite of that, but
That's good. I like that he gets out and uses it.
Yeah, it's
Top down, Sean, or no?
Absolutely.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. You know what?
I didn't see it pull up.
Yeah.
So.
I think this would be good because I thought to myself, I don't really need to take it. I actually called Ryan. We talked about this earlier, and I was like, what do the roads look like? And I was like, you know what? Like, this is the one thing we've been doing on a weekly basis, and it's a great excuse to go out and drive. So I'm like, what the heck?
Other than potholes. Potholes are brutal.
Well, you got to be conscious.
Oh,
that's
Oh,
for
you got to
sure.
be conscious, yeah.
You do.
Did you leave early and get here late? Is that what I'm hearing?
Actually, that's
you
sort
were
of-
late.
That's sort of true.
Oh,
I
that's
was late.
interesting.
All right.
I won't bore you with the details, but I sort of mindlessly went the wrong way, and then That it
I
was-
do
What
love
I'm
this
hearing
type of this time of season though, because you see everybody getting their cars out.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Like I saw a beautiful, just blacked out Cayman.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, it was very nice. Very
Yeah,
shiny
yeah.
black. It's very nice.
I don't want to sound cold, but at this time of year, I'm going to sound like an old man here. The motorcycles are back. There's always somebody making a ton of noise, or some Harley guy that needs to make sure that I can hear him over my stereo and the 19 other cars next door.
Well,
I don't miss that part.
I kind of like it.
No, I hate it.
it was calm last night. Obviously, it was warm. Everyone was out, and we were aiming to, we're sitting there after the kids went to bed with the windows cracked, and it's just all you hear is
Yeah.
off
Oh
in the
yeah,
distance.
down your road for
Yeah.
sure.
And on roads like north of my house,
Oh yeah.
regular. There was a lot of it tonight. What I did hear was there was a bad motorcycle accident already on the east side of town today, and they shut down one of the main routes. But that's not, to be fair, there's still lots of grit on the road,
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
edges.
Yeah,
and
give extra space at the start of the season.
yeah, but I don't miss the noise. I can't deny that.
No,
I sound old. I recognize it.
With all these electric vehicles out now, it's going to be silence.
I was
Can you imagine sitting in your Buzz at the intersection and the guy next to you is like, "Wah, wah, wah," with his motorcycle?
I was at a stoplight today, and I was surrounded by two Mach-E's, a smart car electric, which I didn't know was a thing,
yeah.
no, I didn't either.
and then some kind of Hyundai in front, or Kia in front of me that was electric. I'm like, oh god.
Mach-E's, I'm seeing them all over the
I
place.
don't hate on it. I think
There's
it's an
been
okay
a boom
car.
in those lately.
Yeah,
they
probably
must
because
be
they're cheap
leasing.
right now.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
have you seen the discounts?
Yeah.
They're massive.
There is one, I'm going to take a stab in the dark. There is one smart electric car around here. Let me just guess. White with green accents?
No, I think it was
no
just
way.
silver.
Oh, wow. I thought they were all white with green accents.
I'm not. I had no idea.
No, me
Oh,
either. I didn't know
totally
that
thought
either.
thait be white. White with green. There's one around for sure. It's a nice little
No, it
old
was
lady.
just like silver with like a black roof.
Oh, wow.
I can't even
Interesting.
believe Smart still makes vehicles.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
This would be old. Like, it's probably from 10, 12 years ago, right? They don't make new cars. Not, at least only in Europe, not here.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't think we could
Yeah.
buy them here.
Yeah. Anyway.
I'm going to be honest, it didn't look that old, so good
Well, they
styling, I guess.
Well, to be fair, they never changed the design. There was one design. That's
true.
One generation sold.
How much can you change with a car that's 3 cubic feet?
Correct. Yeah.
You say that, Mike, and I was just thinking, it won't be silent at the stoplight because you'll have the Dodge Charger EV with its speakers making fake engine sounds.
It's very...
Is that only inside or is it out?
No,
as
no,
well?
No, it's outside. I've heard it. No, I've heard it. I heard it.
I've listened to videos. It's horrendous.
I heard it in person at the auto show.
Yeah.
It's obnoxious. You're like,
I thought that
what
was
is
just
that
for the
weird
driver.
noise? You know?
It's yeah.
I want to make sure I follow up to say that I texted you guys this week that I was on the 407 going eastbound in the pouring rain, and an electric Dodge Charger with a customer plate on it
Yes.
drove by me, and I could not believe it.
They worked for the dealership.
It had just a normal license plate, GV,
Could be a
something like a
demo.
typical license plate. But I would thought it was a demo. It would have had a dealer plate
No,
on it.
not necessarily. They put plates on
The
them.
BMW dealership in town, they all have
Yeah.
custom vanity plates. At BMW
This was not a
X5.
custom vanity plate. It just said GV, something like a typical
Yeah.
electric car license plate.
It could totally still be a dealer. 'Cause
Well, I
maybe
mean, they got
wanna
to
use-
sell one.
Well, that could be.
Didn't I read some article recently that it's outpacing the Supra this year? I'm sure I read this.
Come on.
I'm sure.
So much that they have to go back to gas next year?
Maybe. I'm sure I read it though, Mike. I'm sure. We're gonna find that out, and I'll share it if it becomes a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, we have a bunch of things to get to tonight. Let's first jump right back into a both exciting and controversial conversation, which is the wrap up on the Volkswagen Buzz. So we did our last recent record in the Buzz.
Right.
Shawn had the distinct pleasure of taking it back across Toronto to drop it off.
Yep.
And he's got, I kid you not, listener, there's a list
got
of
an
bullet
essay.
points of notes here that he's literally typed and printed.
It is on a full page. I did this on my lunch, just so you know.
So should we go to Mike first?
I think we'll just go right to Shawn and then we'll pitch in.
Okay.
How's that sound?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean,
hit us, man.
Okay. So indulge me here for a few minutes. I'm going to get into a bit of detail. And if it bores the listener, fine. But I think this is good consumer advice.
The beauty is they can't talk back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Please call in with any concerns.
Who is Fraser's
Yeah.
like on the call person?
So Mike dropped the Buzz off at my house. I was always planning to return it on my way to basically moving on to Ottawa. So I was going to go sort of halfway there. It didn't have a lot of charge when he dropped it off.
It was like 50 something.
Mike will chronicle his challenges of finding suitable charging on the north end of town. So I left my house basically with 4 hours to do what I needed to do, which, this drive on a good day should take 2 hours and 20 minutes ish.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty reasonable. So I went to the charger, plugged it in. I had pre-optimized the battery. It was sucking juice back at 140 kilowatts an hour, whatever the heck it's. Anyways, it was going on a good pace.
Yeah.
I had time to have lunch at the local beer town and a non-alcoholic beer because VW
Understood.
said, please don't drive
Yeah.
while drinking.
Yeah.
And by the time I was done that, it was at 90% and I had 324 kilometers of predicted range.
Wow.
Pretty good.
So
That's like 101% of that range, is it not?
No, I think the total
No.
range, if you ran the battery right up, is around 400, 380 something.
370 or
Yeah.
something?
Okay. Yeah,
it's-
yeah.
I thought it
you
was
ran it right
322 for some reason.
Oh, no. Yeah,
yeah.
because
Okay.
so that took 33 minutes
Okay.
to charge, which again, I thought was reasonable.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Costed me a grand total of $52. And so I thought, this is going to be fine, right? I've got 100 kilometers of spare range.
Yeah.
My journey is only 230 kilometers-ish. I was going to drop it off with 20% battery and let them deal with the problem.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Which they have a charger network right at their building, and they
there's-
told us to do that.
Right.
They said, no problem, just drop it off here. It doesn't matter.
and there chargers galore and all
Yeah.
things plugged in.
Yeah.
So by the time, my good scientific experiment was, look, if I owned this, could we rip down the highway and then go to the cottage or whatever we're going to do? So I didn't drive, 105. I wasn't trying to be a super, what do they call that? Hypermiler?
Yes.
Yes. And so by the time I got to Milton, one, I had to pee. And
Okay,
two,
logical.
yes, that non-alcoholic beer went right through me. It became quite obvious to me that I wasn't going to make it to Ajax.
Okay.
So at that time, I had 118 kilometers of predicted range left.
Oh, man.
So you've gone, what?
He's probably
80
gone-
kilometers?
No, he's probably
100?
gone, you've probably gone 125
Oh, yeah, at
kilometers
least.
Okay.
to Milton.
I'm so prepared. I did all this math for
Oh,
you.
perfect.
Hit us, hit us. Am I close? 125?
Yeah, so 136.
Okay.
I projected here. So I'd only done 136 kilometers,
Yes.
but I've used 200-ish of my predicted range.
Okay.
Okay.
So 70 went into sort of the electric ether Narnia.
To the gods.
Yes.
Yep.
So I was like, I can't do like a logarithmic calculation, but I was like, look, I only have this little kitty of extra juice and it's probably going to go away too by the time I get there. So I was either going to be left on the side of the road or I was going to get there with like zero and I just didn't want to deal with that. So
Right.
went into the GPS sort of, okay, well, where can I find? So the Toronto premium outlets, which are in Milton, makes
Yes.
no sense, but
Yes.
I digress. Another Electrify Canada charger there. So I thought, okay, I'll pop in here for 15, 20 minutes and rolled up, sort of drove around the parking lot, found them, which I've never been there before, never know where they were, only to find 6 bays, 3 of which were well, they're all plugged, first of all, and 3 of which were plugged by a Ford Escape hybrid that was not plugged in, a Model Y that was not plugged in, and then, of course, the Piste de Resistance is the big Cybertruck with stickers on it, also not plugged in. So I was having a minor panic because I had a train to catch.
Yeah.
I had connections to meet, and I was quickly running out of time for
Right.
this 4-hour journey that I had planned.
Right.
Anyway, thankfully, somebody moved almost immediately after
okay.
I got there
Okay.
and sent
Yeah,
a
yeah.
picture to this group swearing and saying, look at these Tesla assholes.
He
Particularly
did say that.
Particularly the Cybertruck.
Guaranteed.
owner.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
granted.
Right. Yeah.
So popped it in for 10 more minutes, which got me 22 kilowatt hours of juice and another $15. So, I mean, if you're keeping track at home.
$67.
Yeah, exactly. Which, by the way, to travel 230 kilometers is quite expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll come back
Quite.
around to that. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I got to Ajax with around 18% battery left and no issues. So I did,
And how much time to spare to catch your train?
so Via, if I'm going to be griping and curmudgeon-y,
Just keep her going.
It's a Canadian. It's a Canadian government system. It's never going to run on time.
they're
no.
late for everything.
Yeah,
so
of course. Yeah.
I mean, all things had gone to plan. I had about like 6 minutes to spare, which was not enough.
Too tight.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
But they were sort of 25 minutes late. So it turned out to be not that bad. But
Okay.
So I was stressing. I will say that this was not an enjoyable experience. And in fact, I was like, I text Mike and I was like, yeah, I think I'm sort of off this whole.
The high.
Yeah.
The high.
Yeah.
But so in retrospect, I guess I've got sort of 3 points in summary. You cannot rely solely on the public charging network. I mean, I think we surmised that in the last van pod thing that we did.
Yeah, I feel like we all said we'd never buy a electric vehicle and say, yeah, we're just public charging.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah.
So, I mean, my 4-hour journey my journey that should have taken 2 and a bit hours took 4, and it doesn't make sense to me. I think it's very expensive, right? I mean, if I think about the money it spent to drive it one way, I did learn today though, if you were to go out and buy that or an ID4, Volkswagen gives you 1,400 kilowatt hours of charging at Electrify Canada chargers
Okay.
on the house.
Okay.
All right.
And if you have a home charger, like that's going to
Yeah.
last a long time.
Well, that's
Yeah.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that's
So
fair.
you charge it at home, and then the odd time you do a road trip, you just top it up, and then you just enough to get home.
Sure.
So someone shared that with me. So I think that's a fair point to make. I'm still not convinced it would really work as a family car for us. Like we need, if you rip to the cottage, if you're going to relatives, etc. But
Yeah.
this gentleman a colleague of mine, I work with, he has an ID4. They recently bought it. It's actually his wife's car, but he drives it quite regularly. And he's kind of a nerd on this stuff. And he said, what you need to do is whenever you're going to go somewhere, you have to use the native nav, because he said, not only is it going to give you exactly where you need to charge and how long, which I knew,
Yeah.
but he said it also will precondition the battery as you're driving.
Oh, wow.
Basically,
To make it there.
Correct. Knowing where you're going to go.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
because
So
it knows
Okay.
like when it needs to heat up to optimize the charge. to
Correct.
come in,
Oh,
right?
that's interesting. She did mention this to us, but we weren't really. We were just
too
kind of
excited.
Did she?
You're
Yeah,
just
she
too
did. No,
excited to
she
get
did.
into it
I
and
want to
go.
be fair to Volkswagen. They definitely did suggest that there was a way to do it through the.
Okay.
But we were kind of just anxious to get CarPlay operational because we thought, okay, this is what we normally
Yes.
do. We'll get CarPlay operational and get going.
And he's so fair enough to them.
Yeah.
He said too, like there's settings within there. You can basically tell it, would you prefer to stop more for shorter durations? Would you prefer to stop less and just do longer charges? So he said you
that's
can kind of
interesting. Okay.
tweak this to your likings.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And he said, you only basically rely on those for the minimum amount of time that you need to get back home, and then you just plug it back in the garage.
Yes.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
So I was like, okay, fair. And so finally, in my last point here is, he was quite confused. He said, I don't know how you had so much range and basically got there with none. He said, like, I don't have that problem. He said, it's always very accurate. And, again, it would just tell you where you need to go. And so I said, well, you're a guy that would probably know this. Like, what does your ID4 get, like kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers?
Okay. Yep.
And Ryan, to his credit, was the most efficient out of the 4 of us. And I think the best we saw was
23.2.
There you go. So
Not that I'm counting or anything.
23 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers of use.
You're about to tell us that his ID4 is at like half of that or something.
Yeah, basically.
I see. Are we thinking that's
Well,
just
it's a lot of weight
Are we
you're
thinking that's aerodynamic efficiency?
I think
Yeah.
on the highway in particular. So he said, kicking around town using regen, etc. He sees 16 or 17.
Okay. Yeah.
And he
yeah.
said, it might go up to 20 something on the highway if you're really booting along.
Okay.
But the Buzz obviously was significantly bigger, significantly
On
heavier.
the highway, I don't know what it would be.
It's a big
It's
box.
also a brick. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, I was checking, and again, I was going at, the flow of traffic, which is exceeding the speed limit, et cetera, and I was like 33 or 34, which is effectively
Right, okay.
double.
Yeah,
what?
right.
So,
Yeah, but it's double as cool.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Hold on, I'm gonna have to do some math on that double is cool comment. Okay, yeah. We'll come back to that. All right. Yeah.
So I think having sort of swung and now gone through the highs and lows, like a week now later, I remain generally positive, but the rose sort of colored glasses have been taken off a bit. Like I would not, and Mike's going to tell us how much he enjoyed his experience now, but
I loved it.
I wouldn't want to deal with that all the time.
My simplistic view is if you live in the city, these things are great.
Totally.
I'm not going to question that at all. I think they're great.
Yeah.
If you have a charger at home and
and
you're in
all
the
that.
city,
Yeah, if you have
Yeah.
a home charger,
yeah,
fine.
I think
Totally
it's a
fine.
really elegant
Yeah.
way to get around. Like
Yeah.
for my wife who commutes 13 kilometers across the city every day,
Right.
job done. Like you
Oh, yeah,
can have
and
this
so
perfect
calm
plug it in
and-
at home, and you get into that routine. Like you get home, you drop your cell phone on the counter, you plug in the car. Like it's
Yeah.
not like it's.
Yeah.
There's a routine that I can see as becoming quite normal.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mike.
And my views aren't necessarily about the Buzz. They are. That's my only experience.
Yeah.
It's in electric in general.
Yeah.
Because that's my experience, right?
Yeah.
We did our podcast. I got the Buzz shortly after that. And I live half an hour from the city. There's not one charger in my city. Let's point that out. Not
Yep.
one.
Yes.
I don't have a home charger. So
and to be fair,
Yeah.
all the good chargers are on the opposite
they're
end
on
of
the
London.
other end.
So they're like an hour.
They're like an hour away
from
from
me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I went home. I picked up my wife. We came back into town. We had some errands to run. Blah blah blah. And I got it. I can't remember, about 60-something%.
Yep.
So, which is fine. Drove home to London or to Lucan, and it was, I don't know, still 50. So whatever. We buzzed around a bit,
Oh,
right? In
was
quotes,
smooth.
air quotes,
That was smooth.
air quotes.
it was so subtle, no one caught it.
And saw some friends, grabbed some lunch, had a coffee, blah blah. And I'm like, okay, we're got to come back into the city tonight. Let's bring it. Let's head home, and we'll stop in and charge it on the way home, or on the way back in.
Mm-hmm.
So we get going. I'm leaving the city, like 2 minutes out of town. I'm like, oh, this thing is dropping charge like very rapidly. Went from 30% to 20 something very quickly. I'm like, I'm not going to make it home. So I'm like, okay, wheel around, come back. I went to the mall. I know there's like 2 or 3 chargers there. All full, like you said. One was sitting there not plugged in. Two Teslas there.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, let's find something else.
I'm also sorry to interrupt, but I'm also surprised that Masonville Mall only has 3 chargers.
I know.
Like
To be fair, I thought maybe by driving around a lot, there'd be 3 more on like another
No,
side
I
or something.
drove.
But there
No,
isn't.
they're all right there.
They're all right
Yeah,
there.
I checked. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I know there's one up in the Y.
Yeah.
So we drove over there, and my wife had something to do at the mall. So we spent an hour. The chargers never became available.
Oh my God.
For an
that's
hour.
too bad.
So I'm like, all right. So we drove up to the Y, plugged it in. It was free. I'm like, going to be 7 hours and 20 minutes. And I'm like,
Right.
not spending that kind of time here. I don't even know what the charge rate was. I'm like,
7
That's a lot of working out at the Y.
Yeah,
7
right.
kilowatts an hour.
So I'm
That's
like,
what he was getting.
not doing this. But this time I'm starting to panic. I'm like, okay, now what? So I'm like, I know Volkswagen, the dealership has one.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
I don't know if it's just one port or 2, but
Well, I think they
whatever.
have more than one. Yeah. The
I
one
think it's
in there.
maybe 2, right?
Yeah.
So whatever. I'm like, it's not that far. It's maybe 10-minute drive from where we were. Let's go over there. And let's say they were happy to see us because they haven't seen one in the flesh yet.
Other than one that's like in the showroom.
They have one in the showroom. They use one for a shuttle, but they haven't seen like a
Random one pull in.
public
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
drive in. So
Yeah.
they're happy to see us and happy to host us for 2 hours and 15 minutes to
Right.
get it from like 23% to 60.
Okay. Yeah. yeah.
And
That must have
again,
been so low on kilowatt hours as well.
and then again, that cost me $42. I want to say
You have to
charge.
pay them?
Oh yeah, it's a regular
yeah,
flow
it's
charge.
flow.
Yeah. See, I thought the same, Sean, but
Yeah.
he said that.
All the
yeah.
dealerships except Ford are Flow.
yeah,
Is that right?
Yeah.
yeah.
So, okay, but and sorry, I'm just going to interrupt
it's
for
all
a
right.
sec here. Like, my assumption is if you, and maybe this is because you buy the car, but let's say you bought a Porsche Macan EV. if you went to the dealer, can you not plug it in for free?
I don't know.
That at Porsche specifically. I mean, they had like 4 chargers. I just don't know enough about them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. This is a flow charger.
Okay.
Maybe they do, but definitely
yeah.
like normal dealerships don't.
Wow.
So I quickly said, I'm done with this thing because I'm not driving it back to Luke and then back to London tonight.
Right. There's risks.
And then back to
Yeah.
Luke and then back to Shawn's in the morning. I'm like, not happening.
Charging
Right.
it halfway there again.
Yeah, I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't have time for this, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like,
Or
yeah,
patience. You've
No,
had
but you also-
patience.
You got a phone call from me. I was panicking.
you also
I'm like,
you also had Saturday night plans, to be fair.
That's
So
right.
it's not
So
like
I'm
he's like,
yeah.
you know.
I'm like, all right, give me my gas Cayenne back as soon as I can, please. So, yeah, I was driving rapidly up the 401 to go see Shawn and hand it back over.
Yeah.
And him and his kids were happy to see us.
In particular, the kids were ecstatic. Yes.
But EV for me, I am out 100%.
Yeah. You'd
100%.
need a high flow charger at your house, or like there's no
Yeah.
other option.
Yeah.
You'd have
For
to
me,
have it.
commuting 30K each way just to get to the city,
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense.
No.
Yeah, that's tough. No, you can't do it.
Yeah.
No.
yeah.
The
did-
infrastructure is not there in our world.
Sean did share a nice video of you turning it around in the parking lot
Yeah.
and backing it up. You look
Yeah.
good. You look very.
Yeah.
You look
Well,
good.
I looked the part.
And I think it probably was shared on the dashboard page, but Mike put together a lovely reel of his day. You can follow
Yeah,
along.
that's
Yeah.
right.
That's quite well done.
Yeah, that was pretty good. You had some nice
was.
tunes over that too. I don't know what song it was, but I,
I can't
liked
remember now.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was something from the 80s.
Do you know what your reel looked like? It looked like a lot of work.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah. I find putting a good reel together
Yeah.
takes a while. I don't have time.
It's all. That's funny. But yeah, EVs in general, can't do it.
I don't know. My overall view on this vehicle, I enjoyed it. There's no question about that. I thought it was fun. But I do live in the city, and I use the mall charger, which was the
Yeah.
only one. And both times I arrived there, it was occupied, but very quickly not occupied. So, and then I went one time at night, and I'm like, when you said that number, Sean, $52 to charge your car, to charge it at the south end, I'm shocked how expensive that is. Like, I thought that's a lot.
Well,
But they're charging fast, which
Sure.
is a higher price as well.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, for sure.
But it is interesting because Milton, of all places,
Yeah.
further towards the GTA, which typically means prices go up, not down. The charge rate was 60 cents a kilowatt hour instead of 70 there.
Okay.
Oh,
Is this like how did you even see that? Was it like on the charger or in the app you saw something?
yeah, it's on the app.
It
I
was
never
on the app,
noticed
yeah.
that before. I just plugged in and got going.
Now,
I was
let's
just-
point out the one at the Y that was 7 hours and 20 minutes was probably basically free.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
cheap.
that's about what it's worth. but
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was overall a fun vehicle. And I think we can all agree, whether we taking into your opinion or not, the number one, Dylan loves it the most.
I think so.
Yeah, but I think
He'll
it's
own one. He will own one.
I see a
I
buzz
don't
in his
know.
future. I do.
I don't know.
With a
Yeah.
big logo down the
I do
side,
too.
a little bit of
Yeah,
light airbag in, some nice chrome wheels.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
And you would get my business for sure. You wheel up in that, I'd be like, this dude
Yeah.
gets the business.
Did we share that photo of the one that was dropped on
No.
the sort of BBS looking?
No.
We should- we
no.
can.
Oh, there's so many.
They do
Once you
look
go down
so
the rabbit
cool.
hole.
They
Yeah.
do look cool.
Yeah, they look really cool. I see
Like-
him being the guy. He's
Yeah.
the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dylan's factor, I think, works out. Double the coolness. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It is.
I
Cool.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also want to point out that we all agree. I think that we thought Shawn looks the most buzz owner.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's something
He could be
about
a spokesperson for
Yeah,
that,
right.
Oh,
you,
yeah.
you would with a surfboard and
Yeah.
it's-
Might have to get rid of the mustache.
I was
but
going to say, is that helping or hindering? Because
There was an element of Super Mario about it. It's the best way for me to. At that time, it was looking pretty.
Very
There was
fluffy.
something going on.
Yeah.
I was like, it's a little Super Mario.
my beard is sort of filling out now, so it's less
Yeah.
pronounced. But,
that's funny.
one thing before we move off the buzz, hopefully our listeners are not sort of bored to death of this yet. But I read an article today that U.S. dealers, so there was some production limitation in Germany with respect to the two-tone paint, which we all agreed was, if you're going to buy a Buzz, you should be getting
Yes.
the two-tone.
Yeah. Yes.
Pick
Yes.
your color, but make sure it's two-tone.
Yeah.
So the U.S. market, I guess, is flooded with silvers, blacks.
There's a dark blue.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
do look a bit more vanilla.
Yeah. Mhm.
You lose that sort of retro throwback. So VW USA have been subsidizing dealers to wrap them.
Oh,
Come
wow.
on.
No
Oh, that's
way.
interesting.
Yeah. So the cost was about $3,000, and they're giving the dealers $1,500 of that and saying,
Oh, that's
"Here."
cool.
And it's working. Apparently, people
Yeah,
are
that's
buying
cool.
them.
That's cool.
So
I was past a local Volkswagen dealer, not one here, but one close by, and they had a silver, a navy blue, a black, and 3 of the 2-tone. So there was a white and blue, a white and green, and a white and orange. So it's probably a total inventory of 6 or 7 units, just all out front of the dealer 3 days ago at work.
Wow.
They're all
That's
just
quite
there.
a lot.
That is a
Yeah,
lot.
because I think that's pretty standard. They probably got their first delivery. It's
They
like, hey, you
pump
got
them
to
out.
buy 8.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everyone gets 8.
Yep.
Oh, that's fair.
You know, one
yeah.
became your shuttle, and then the rest sat there. I don't know. It's hard to say. But anyway, damn, it's a cool car. It's fun. It's just. I understand it's electric. There's limitations. I get all of that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, I think
saw,
yeah.
I saw the green one when I dropped this off Volkswagen. It's definitely the color I'd have.
Yeah, it looks
I like
wicked. It's like peridot green. It looks
good
awesome.
jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not my color.
What are you? The blue?
He's the
Definitely
blue
the
for sure.
blue.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. You look fitting in the blue.
Yeah.
He also sits really high like a bus driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on.
We're going to talk about a more... Okay, listen, thanks for dragging through all that with us. But your nerdy math there, you're very Harry Metcalf there. Your little folder
Right?
with your
Yep.
with your maths
Yeah.
and your kilowatt hours. I really appreciate that because you know how I feel about Harry. Next subject we're going to jump into, which we think is very timely based on today's weather. It's a conversation overall that varies all over the place. So we're going to call this spring preparation for your car.
Yeah,
Who
for
wants to-
anybody that lives in a winter climate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first? I have all kinds of thoughts, but you guys go first.
You go, Mike.
Yeah, you have it, Mike.
Me. Oh, geez. Spring prep. So I haven't even got my car out yet because the weather
Good
has
start.
not been good.
No.
So you store it offsite.
I do. Every winter. My garage is tiny. The wife likes her car in the garage for the winter.
Yeah.
Although the Cayenne's in there right now.
Oh, her baby. Her baby.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
basically become her baby.
It has.
Yeah,
so-
yeah.
So any day now, when I have time, that my car will be coming out. So it's off-site, trickle charger plugged in, cover on it. So I will quickly unplug that. Hopefully it fires up. Hopefully the tires are
Not flat.
not flat,
Or not flat spotted.
right? So
Yeah.
I think the best prep for spring prep is fall prep, I want to say.
Hey.
I agree with that
Right?
sentiment.
So
That was deep.
fill
Best
up
offense is
with
a-
fuel, pressure up the tires, get your trickle charger on, cover on, all that. So hopefully everything goes well. I can just fire it up and I will drive it home.
Right.
Shortly thereafter, get the oil changed, fluid check, all that, clean it up, and spring shine, wax, tire shine.
Will yours be
all that.
dusty? It collects dust in the...
It'll be dusty, but it has a cover on it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it'll still be dusty. Like, need a good wash for
Yeah.
sure. Maybe I'll bring it to Shawn's for a nice detailing.
Absolutely, yeah.
Little therapeutic
Yeah, right.
wash.
Right? But I'm not doing the oil change. I'll book it in somewhere this year. And
Yep.
I always do spring oil change, so once a year. I don't put enough kilometers on to do it twice.
No.
Yeah.
How many
no.
kilometers you get last year?
Maybe 3,000.
Oh, I thought you did more.
No.
Okay.
It's all right.
Yeah, not as many as
Oh, wow.
You might have done more the year
A
before.
lot of short trips, though, right?
Yeah.
We didn't do much
fair
driving
enough.
last
No,
year.
fair
No.
enough. Yeah.
No. Year before, I probably put more on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited. Just weather's been crap.
Yeah, it's just sort of
any
dragging.
day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't have a lot to say on it.
I have this feeling Sean's got a little
Oh,
He's got
list of
pages.
notes.
He's got pages.
You want us to come to you
He's
last?
gonna,
Yeah, I was gonna
first
say-
you fill up the bucket. Yeah, 3 teaspoons of.
He is looking like he might have written
Yeah, I
that
think
down.
so.
Right, okay.
Mike's
Wash.
Well, he's like, actually, you got to get a new bucket.
Yeah, true.
Mike's not too far off on this, so why don't you guys carry
my
on?
God.
I'll bring us home with...
All right. Yeah, I'm not that. Just wash it. Sure.
Yeah.
Dill?
All right, you going to start us off or what?
Oh, you want me to go?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
feel like you're going to.
He's already had his done. So.
Yeah.
No, I mean my spring prep is pretty basic. I agree with Mike that I think your thought was dead on, that what you do in the fall matters the most.
Yep.
That being said, I don't really overthink it. I fuel it all the way to the top.
Mm-hmm.
I have put stabilizer in it every year, just a little bit
Yep.
of like typical stay-bill, from
Yep.
Canadian Tire kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little touch. Even if I didn't, I don't think I'd have too much trouble with 94 octane. I'm not overly worried about that. And I probably am going to cause controversy here, but I don't over air the tires. I don't put the car on those like half moon
Yeah.
curve
Flat
things that are supposed to
stoppers.
keep your wheels
Yeah.
perfectly round. And I don't do any of that. I do monitor the garage over the winter for any type of mice or anything like that, but I've never had any trouble like that. So I'm keeping a close eye on that. Car's plugged in, no problem. Spring for me is, it's fairly simple. I unplug it. I drive it. I don't really have too much trouble. It usually starts. I want to be fair. I did drive the car 16 kilometers last week before we started to go back into this third winter. And there's no question that if you don't air up the tires, it does thump until the tires get warm.
Yeah.
And then once they're warm, you're good. I don't have any real thoughts. I always have the detailer out to just kind of overdo it. It just feels good to like freshen up the floor mats, get everything feeling good. And I am a fall oil change guy.
Okay.
I got to be fair. I don't think one is wrong and one is right. I don't care. I just always do it in the fall. I average about 5,000 kilometers a year. So I just do it once a year to say it's done. And it's usually in the fall. I don't have a lot of thoughts on it. I'm careful about the roads. If there's grit, I'm really careful. And I normally, not to sound super nerdy, but the first couple of weeks of driving the car, I drive a very limited number of routes. I will not drive anywhere I haven't been with my other car first, because I am not going to end up on a road that has been brined or salted. It's just not going to happen. I will have experienced it in my work car first every time.
And I think worse than that right now. And again, we had a very harsh, long, cold winter.
Yeah.
But the roads are as bad as I've seen them
And potholes
in
as well.
5 years.
Yeah.
And like if you come across a nasty pothole,
Yeah.
Sometimes there's no chance.
oh my God. I smoked one like 3 weeks ago in my daily.
Yeah.
And I got it out. I was like, I'm sure I bent this wheel or, broke the bead. And it didn't, but it sounded horrific.
There's a lot of those around right now. The city does appear to be making an effort, but it's not easy. It's
No, I think it's a losing battle for sure.
Yeah, totally. Especially if we're going to get more cold weather tomorrow up and down, these temperatures all over the place. No, I don't really overthink it. I'm really careful about the roads. I drive only the routes I know. So when I took it out for this one lap of 16 kilometers, I drove a road that I drive all the time to a road that I drive all the time to a road that I drive all the time to another one and came home. Like I wasn't, even the Tim Hortons locally, I'd love to have pulled in, but there's so many potholes in the driveway. I'm like, I can't even get in here. Like my car's clearance is like 4 and a bit inches. There's not much.
Yeah, no.
So it's just not, it's a no go until I know things are patched up.
And actually, the salt is worse in the parking lots than it is on the road in a lot of cases. So.
That's exactly the problem,
Yeah.
isn't it? I went to my, I don't want to sound bougie or anything, but I went to get my monthly massage. And
No, you don't mean to, but you still did. So.
I like it, okay? Anyway, they had like a cold night, and it's like a commercial building, and it was like Cocaine Palace, the parking lot. I mean, it was like white crunching everywhere. And I literally said to the masseuse, I'm like, what is happening here? And she goes, look, as soon as it's below zero, they just go ballistic here. It's just like number one's contracted, just fill it in, white.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah. Anyway, that's me.
Go.
Go.
I don't take it too seriously.
I was going to say, you drove your car most of the winter.
Yeah. The interesting part about this, like normally I had stored it, but finally got myself a garage here. So had access to it, drove it through all the winter. Did the tire swap maybe a little early.
Yeah.
That was when that second winter came in for 4 inch.
Before the third.
Yes. Yeah. But when I have the rims off, usually check the rotors. Check the pads, make sure that we're rocking there. That's about really it. And then I usually do wash it pretty good.
Yeah.
I do. I get under
You're
there.
one wash a year.
Yeah, I get under there. I get it all done.
Yeah, he's not a big washer.
No, he's not.
He's not a big washer.
2 a year. You watched it before Kaleidoscope too, I think, don't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh,
Remember?
wow.
Then I showed up with a
appreciate
shovel in.
Yes,
Yeah.
that does feel familiar. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really do too much. I do like to keep the inside clean. So I had to get some salt out of the rug and stuff like that.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I saw Shawn's heart just fall down. He was sad about salt on the Porsche carpet.
I still got to polish
Saw it.
the exhaust tips. You got a little surface rust on them. That's all right.
All right.
Take her to Shawn's shop. He'll do it all.
Yeah, we'll do the oil change. We'll get it cleaned up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I had 3 oil changes last year.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, because it was...
Well, that's what happens when you do heads on it and all that other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Every
Fair
time you're changing the oil.
Yeah.
So yeah, my girl gets a lot of oil changes.
Well,
Which I do actually.
They go through it enough on their own.
You know what?
Yeah.
Honestly, since I had Brad work on it,
Yeah.
I haven't put a drop of oil in the
Oh,
thing.
that's good. Knock on
and I
wood.
have checked. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Don't you dare tap that table. Don't you
Yeah.
dare. I am the Spike
996
Ferguson of
went
hand
through,
tapping.
a liter every 600K.
Oh,
But that's within spec as per Porsche.
With your 991?
996.
Oh, sorry, 996. Okay.
So did Brad just overfill it, or we're just...
No, it's just not leaking anymore as much.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
But then I did see the other side's probably leaking.
Is it?
Yeah,
It happens.
Yeah, that
Better
might
get them
go
booked
back
in. Better get them booked in.
Yeah. So, no, I don't do too crazy things. I haven't even washed the winter wheels yet. So,
Oh, that's a sin.
Oh, now.
You got to put those... Well, mine sit on the garage floor for a bit, but you've been a month. No? Since you took them off, at least?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're
Yeah.
off the car. I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
But they're
Yeah,
like
yeah.
plasti dipped, so who cares?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
They were.
Yeah.
The rims were free.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Well, when you put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't, yeah.
understandable.
But the rest of the car's in good shape. I mean, I still
Do you
got to
need
hook
a
it
set
up.
of wheels and rims?
No, I don't need any more. I still have your exhaust laying
Yeah,
in my
we
garage.
need to get that
Oh
on.
yeah.
Yeah. So.
For the kind. Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. It's like it's not really an exhaust. It's just some.
Oh no, it is full.
I thought it was just like basically straight pipes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but full system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And right off.
Like
yeah.
12 feet long, laying in my garage. It's not like
It's not taking up room or anything.
no, exactly. So, no, I got to get the the scanner hooked up and remind myself what's wrong with it and get that fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, the warm.
We have
glow
a
of
few
the
months
engine
until
light.
our big road trip, so
Yeah.
there's time.
Oh yeah, that thing will be rock solid.
If we don't get detained at the border, I mean, I keep hearing.
I was just over.
We're not opening the
I was
subjects.
just over
They
last
don't
week.
wanna-
It was fine.
Yeah, they don't want to keep me.
Yeah.
No, that's definitely true.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Just wash it,
Yeah.
get out there,
Yeah.
drive. That's it.
Perfect.
I have to be right up front with you guys and tell you that I'm looking forward to the therapy that is pulling my car in after a nice drive and washing it. I like those nights. It's coming
is
back.
nice.
It's coming back. Those like summer evenings where you can spend 2 hours outside with your headphones on and
Yep.
give your car the real. I love those. Those
Yeah.
are good nights.
I'm with you.
I know. I can't wait to get my pressure washer set up. all
Oh, did you buy
done,
that
all
fancy one off the
stuff.
internet?
Which one?
I can't remember the brand. You
The
sent us a link
giraffe?
for one.
No, I didn't buy that
No,
one.
it was a
No.
small thing
Oh,
went
that
on the
little
wall.
one. What's it called?
It's like an active.
active. That's the
Yeah.
one I'm
Did you buy
thinking
that?
of.
No, I
Oh.
want the so you do a little digging. It's Simonized, whatever.
on, is it really?
Yeah,
That's
for a half the price.
Oh, I didn't know this.
And then they're like, it is identical.
Is it?
It's literally the
this is
active
electric.
too. Yeah,
Okay.
just wall mount.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
It's like a small thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say this might be blowing the budget, but Obsessed Garage now delivers certain things to Canada. They have some
That's
sort of warehouse.
he sells that unit, but I don't know if he sells it to Canada. I don't know. I was on his website once recently.
I got an email like 2 weeks ago, and it was like, again, nothing looked like it was less than $2,000, but it was
Oh, that's the Krenzel or whatever.
Krenzel and these packages and the wands
Yeah, it's a
and the
lot.
whole thing.
The one,
Yeah.
the one you were I'm sure it was like $500. Like it seemed totally reasonable. That
Yep.
one.
Yeah, that's
It's a
reasonable.
little gray thing.
Yeah,
Well, the
yeah,
active
and
was-
like
active was
the
what?
Mastercraft Simonized one is like $299, not on sale, so you know it's
Come
going
on.
down to $2.
Wow.
Yeah, fair
Within
enough.
a week
Yeah,
here.
fair enough.
I got my Karcher working, so I'm
I'll
good.
be
Yeah, okay.
I'll be watching that and
Just give me a high quality hose. I hate
Yeah,
pressure
I
washer.
have that
Oh,
stupid
yeah,
plastic.
no.
It's got to be
one.
the best hose.
yeah, it does have to be a good hose.
hate
I'm gonna try that those resin setups they got too. You know those like spotless rinse things they're selling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
you filter the water, like basically it's completely free
Do you
of...
know a guy, Dill?
I know
With a
guy.
water hookup?
I kind of know a guy that sells all that stuff.
Always a little bit late.
Can
but
we
I'm
do a
with you.
collab?
Yeah, exactly.
Dashboard?
Soon enough, we're all going to be going to Dylan's house to use the water.
Yeah. Dashboard. Use Dashboard 2025 for 20% off.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa! Don't cut into my
That hasn't been
house.
live yet. Easy there. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
We should talk. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do a little.
Demo day.
Yeah, because I'm interested to see if
Alright.
how much it really works.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair
I
enough.
don't know how much it really works.
To be honest,
with you.
I
understand how water works, and
yeah.
you need a little more time with it, and then that.
I only wash my sports car late in the evening. One, because that's the only time I have time to do it, and two, it's when the sun's not beating on it.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
the water spot is not really a thing for me.
Yeah.
Just based
No,
on
not
that.
here in London because we got such. We have like 3 grains hard water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're up in, anywhere north of here. You're
Yeah,
screwed.
fair enough. I'm ashamed to admit it, but I did wash the Cayenne over the weekend in the sunlight. But the paint isn't like brand new or anything. But
Yeah.
there's no question I could not even get remotely close to drying it fast enough before it had lots of water spots on it.
Yep.
But I'm like, you know what? It'll wash off the next time around. It's not the end of the world. I don't really, but they're in there for sure. Like it's going to need a proper clean.
Yeah.
But it feels better than driving a dirty car.
Agreed.
You know.
Onto your spring
let's
prep
go,
there,
Shawn.
Haas.
Number one.
Holy.
So I've done this properly, and
All of us schmucks.
Right. Yeah.
This is all in his 1 hour lunch.
Can you just crease the paper near the mic a little bit so we can prove that there's actually, now we know there's a real piece of paper there.
as someone pointed out, I am probably the most fastidious person of the group when it comes to things like this. So I will give you the right way to do this. Not to saying anybody necessarily is doing it the wrong way, but they are. So I would agree with Ryan. So to start the summer car thing, I am Mike, I'll use your phrase. Fall is the best spring preparation. So I am lucky and maybe a bit bougie like our friend Ryan, and I have a lift in my garage. So when the car went away completely spotless with the service done in the fall and put on the charger and covered, the only thing for me to do when spring came around was to find my lost ownership, take the cover off and unplug it and drive it. So all my preparation was done in the fall. I do think, although apparently it's hard to get all the oil out of these cars, I do think that if you're running it for a summer and then you leave it, like there are still some contaminants in the oil. I think fall is probably the better, but again, if you're only getting half of it out or 3/4 and you're dumping stuff in it, then so be it.
Do you do that yourself, Shawn, or you have it done?
I did it at the dealership
Okay.
last year, much to my chagrin. And I don't know, everyone keeps telling me that it'll pay you back in future years. I mean, what they charge you for an oil change, I think we discussed at 1.8. I mean, it is highway robbery, but probably for the next few years, I'll continue to do that and just budget for it. And
Yep.
yeah.
Like you just want the record of it.
Yeah, I want
Yeah.
the stamps. I want the the records.
Yeah, you don't want
And,
anybody to be like knocking you when you come in.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's all
I
done,
get it.
all done with the dealer. So that's the spring. So that's easy, right? I mean, and to Ryan's point, I fueled it, put some Sta-Bil in it. I did pump the tires. I put, to your point, like the first time I drove it, it was a little thumpy. I mean, it sat for 6 months, but I mean, now they're fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, and mine faded out after like 3 kilometers.
Totally.
Like once the tires have any heat, you're good.
I think unless they're either a big tire with a squishy sidewall and they've sat for like 6 years. To your point, I mean, I spend $400 on flat stoppers or whatever they're called.
Is that what it's called?
Is that how much they are?
Oh, they're hugely expensive. Yeah, they're crazy.
It just seems like one of
Are
those
you
things I would
serious?
never part with my money
Yeah.
for. I'm open to be sold on that, but honestly, I'm like, why would you?
Yeah. Well, until I wreck a set of tires,
Yeah.
Yeah.
flat's
Drive
fine.
on.
Yeah.
Drive on. I like it.
So yesterday though, so speaking of, part of my spring prep was fixing my pressure washer that was in desperate need of service. So I changed the oil in that, changed the pump oil. It was leaking fuel, which was a no-go in my garage because
Oh, you're on the gas one. Still,
wife
eh?
was like, "What's that smell?" And I was like, "Yeah."
That's exactly how
Yeah.
she said it.
Wow.
And thanks for coming, Mrs. St. Dennis.
He told us she doesn't listen.
Yeah.
He told
No,
us.
she doesn't. And if she
Now I
does,
know why.
she won't get to episode 15. So we sorted that out and ran it for the first time yesterday. Ran beautifully. And I washed my car and Amy's. I've been known to jack up one side of the car to take the winters off and then spend 20 minutes on each wheel well, spraying out all of the dirt and all the salt. And those fabric wheel liners,
Oh yeah, those are
Oh
a
my
headache.
God, they hold a lot.
Yeah, they
eh?
hold everything. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, great for noise,
Yeah.
NVH, like makes the car quieter, but good Lord, it's like, you just never ends. They
You
just,
can't get them clean.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you can.
well,
It's like those rug cleaners you see on
Yeah.
TikTok, right?
I have to ask this because you struck a chord here. Is the reason that they make them out of that fabric now for NVH?
for
Is that
NVH.
why?
Yeah, yeah.
I never knew that. I just assumed
you
this
thought it
was
was
a
like an
cheaper
upgraded one?
No, I thought it was just cheaper. Like they
Oh,
must be
no.
punching these out because it's like, hey, we just punch this out. It's easy. I figured it was just cheaper. I always thought that.
no, they have some insulating properties. And I mean,
wow.
again, if a stone hits a plastic wheel well on an F-150,
You hear it.
you hear it.
Yeah,
Our
yeah.
cars that don't even have them, I mean, definitely hear it. But yeah, they hit that fabric. It's just like nothing
I had
happened.
no idea of that. I never knew that. Okay, interesting.
And while you're in there, to Dylan's point, you should check your brakes, you service them, you clean the rust off the hubs. You should sort of lubricate some things if you can, because although we all think that they're sort of just service proof, they're not really.
Nope.
It'll pay in the long run. Your pads will wear evenly, et cetera, et cetera. I had, despite having proper weather tech sponsorship opportunity,
Based in Burlington.
mats in my car, there was a tremendous amount of salt sort of staining in the carpets. It had leached into the seat tracks, which was starting to corrode and rust, so I spent a big amount of time cleaning all that out yesterday. Other than that, I mean, I will tell you, and I won't recommend doing this because it was a bit of a labor of love and probably the law of diminishing returns or whatever. I, one time, to your point about trying to get all the stuff out of the carpet wheel well liners.
Oh, no.
I actually took them off the car.
Oh, my God.
So I took all 4 of them off, cleaned underneath of them, and then cleaned them at the end of my driveway, which probably was like a 3-hour endeavor, maybe more. And there wasn't actually that much dirt behind them. They were really dirty.
Like they're there for a reason or something. Right. Okay.
Well, Jake will tell you differently when we talk to him from Honey Seal. There's nasty stuff that hides behind there. But
Right.
So I took a bullet on for that one. I wouldn't recommend doing that. But yeah, you can go to the ends of the earth, and I get there's some therapeutic value in doing this. So
Yeah,
I think you need therapy,
Yeah.
Shawn.
Well, that is
it's possible.
Yeah.
Have you ever been
That's
tested
his
before?
church.
I'm just asking.
Hey,
There's a wide spectrum, man.
Yeah.
Some things
Wide
are
spectrum.
left better unknown.
untested.
I do want to shout
she
you
said.
out though, because you took this from a different angle than I did. I was thinking about prepping my summer car.
Oh, yeah.
You were
yeah.
thinking about prepping your
Well, he does that in the fall.
everyday
He does
vehicle.
that in the fall.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
thing. I had about 2 lines to talk about that because it
Yeah.
was all done in the
Yeah,
fall.
yeah,
So-
yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Because you really, like, to be fair, I mean, once I have the detailer out, he does all of my family cars too to get all the
Yeah.
interiors feeling fresh again. I really appreciate that because you've had white salt building up for 6 months.
Yeah.
It's gross, right?
Yeah, I did Janine's car as well. The dog. Man, you don't realize how much dogs smell in a car. Oh,
Oh,
I did my work car yesterday, inside and out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Steam
Oh.
clean the carpets.
Wow.
Everything.
Feels good, doesn't it?
It does.
The cars drive better after.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
They
about
just
that.
do. They just
Yeah.
do.
it is nice to get into a
What I
really
didn't
clean
do
car.
was the glass.
That's
I
tough. That's a lot of
cannot do
work.
glass.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
I'm with you.
You sure you couldn't do that VW Buzz
Oh,
windshield?
jeez, no.
I would argue that the
Right.
car doesn't drive better. I think when it's clean, it feels like a different car.
Yeah.
It can.
That's the thing I like. Sometimes you're like, oh, this just feels.
That could be too.
There's a
Yeah,
feel.
yeah. You know what I used to do when I like spend a lot of time in a car?
Was it
Move-
mopping the
Move
windshield?
the seat a little bit. You feel like you're in a whole new car. You do. Honestly, you like raise it up, lower it, move it
Come
back.
on.
That's because you can't reach the pedals.
Right,
Just the
yeah.
lumbar.
That's what he was doing in the Buzz.
Yeah.
Seat up high, seat down low. Seat up high, seat to the side.
It's a new car.
Right.
That's what
yeah.
drained the battery.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I had the
I
massage
can't believe that
running.
that's a real thing. I can't believe
yeah.
you said that on the internet. That's anyway.
So if anyone wants to buy a very, very well kept 8-year-old all-road, I'm the guy to buy it from because
Or when the time comes, a 718 Boxster.
right, that is also
It will
true.
be the one to get.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's no
He's
doubt.
attached to it.
There's,
attached
yeah,
to it.
I
You can send him this episode.
the mind does wander, and in fact, Ryan sent the group today a beautiful GT Silver 997 GTS coupe
Yep.
manual. And you go, oh, geez, wouldn't that be nice? But honestly, I drove my car tonight, had the
You're
top
good.
down,
You're good.
good,
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you get a price on that car?
I called.
Okay.
Or sorry, they called me.
It really is beautiful. Give us a price. Come on.
The man left me a message, which
Oh,
I
and he didn't leave the price on the message?
no, he said call me back. Which,
No, you
which
got
I
to
did.
definitely.
Car sales.
997 GTS. What do we think?
A GTS 2 manual,
Okay.
which makes it
Where was it?
Calgary.
Well, so, I mean, A, they're rare, full stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
B,
A
in
2.
Canada,
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
a 2
And a
and a
2.
manual.
Yeah.
I threw a big number at Ryan. He maybe thought a little less, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it's up at like 160, 170.
Oh, I thought
I was gonna say-
140.
I was gonna say
thought
150.
Yeah.
Oh
So we're
yeah,
all-
I would be think it's in that range.
But remember, this is like it's literally a 16-year-old car. So it's not like I thought 140 was like this would be.
I agree.
If it was driven, if it's super low miles, Ryan Friedman's of the world will buy it
Yeah.
instantly. You know what I mean?
I hope you're right. I
Yeah.
think it's 120 to be lots for that car. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember when we all used to, 997s were 90 grand when COVID, and we're like, holy shit. But
Yeah.
we'll see. We will report back on that.
Well, yeah, look at 997 GT3s.
True.
Yeah, no, fair
Holy
enough. Fair
yeah.
enough. Yeah. I had actually specific to GTS. I had an interesting experience last week. Maybe there's this car sales guy I follow. I want to say he works in California somewhere at one of the Porsche dealers, and he always posts like, "Hey, here's a recent trade in." Those kinds of posts, right? Super rare 991.2 GTS, PDK, a 2,
Yeah.
olive green.
Oh, nice.
Paint sample. And I was immediately messaged the guy and I'm like, hey, is it a manual? Because I thought that's a really beautiful car. Center locks, the black wheels, like exactly
nice.
what you're imagining. You'd almost always see them in chalk, for example.
Yep.
Anyway, olive green. And he responded like maybe 8 or 9 hours later and said, hey, it's a PDK car. Here's the spec. Next morning, incoming car, Ryan Friedman. Boom, that car.
Really?
So it shows you how fast those guys operate
Yeah.
because they had that car on lock and then sold it to a guy that I know off Instagram instantly. So Ryan Friedman transacted the car in a matter of days from the West Coast to the East Coast, Long Island, and then shipped it to a guy in Pennsylvania.
And
it happened in like 4
That's
days.
incredible.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we've talked about this internally, but like, I still am baffled by the fact that a mainline dealer can bring in a car,
Yeah.
CPO it, and ask all the money.
Yeah.
Yet a private dealer can buy it, not at wholesale,
Yeah.
buy it at retail, presumably, ship it all across the country.
Yeah.
Charge.
That's a couple grand right there.
Right. and
Yeah,
then
yeah, make some money on it.
Make a margin
Yeah.
on his seller who just probably paid 10 or 15 more than the dealership in California was asking. Like,
And they
I
did
don't-
all of that in 4 days.
I don't get it.
The pace is incredible.
Yeah.
And as a
Maybe their margin isn't that.
No, that's what
Crazy.
I wonder. Sometimes
Maybe
maybe,
not.
it's
It's
not.
just
maybe
like
it's not.
volume.
Yeah. Move a unit.
Yeah.
Move a unit.
Yeah, get known.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's fair.
That's a hard way to go.
But as soon as I saw the car in the sneak picture, I was like, hold on, I know that car. Within 24 hours, they were saying, hey, incoming. And I was like, oh, I know that car.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
pretty distinct.
And
I don't
it's-
think you see many of them.
It's not dark olive. It's
No,
that
it's
sort
all.
of-
It's the regular olive green, like
olive.
the 991.2 Touring that we had at Kaleidoscope last year.
Yes. Okay.
That color, which looked dynamite on
Yeah,
the
it's
GTS.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Really nice paint color.
Yeah.
Anyway, so a little bit of an aside on the PTS Porsche world there. My bad. Anyway, let's go on to our final subject.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Who came up with this idea?
I think it was Dylan.
Was it Dylan?
Was it me?
Or was it you?
I don't know. We kind of did this sort of.
Yeah, we've done
already.
something like this before.
Yeah.
We-
Similar.
No, I tossed out the sort of, I think the
Maybe it
premise,
was-
but we
maybe it was Shawn, yeah.
we changed it. We all sort of collaborated and got it to where it is now.
Do you want to
So-
tell us what we're doing?
Sure. So we talked once before about, I don't know if they're weekend cars, whatever we said, and we picked two budgets. One was 150 and the other one was 50, maybe?
I think it was. I can't remember.
Maybe it was
It
75.
was 60 and
60 and 150.
150.
Something like that.
Something like that.
So we're at the time, at least in our part of the world, where everyone is starting to think about driving the spring, maybe a summer car, maybe a weekend car, maybe a special car. So, but tough economic times. So we are going to give you some salient advice. If you have $30,000 to spend, Canadian, and arguably at that price, if you buy a car for 30 grand, use it somewhat sparingly, it's already been depreciated heavily. You can probably get out of it for, less than $5,000 in depreciation. They're probably almost already on the floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah, no doubt.
I think this is a sensible purchase if you're in the market. And again, you don't have to, you're just parking the money there for a minute. You can get it back out presumably later and have some fun.
Yeah. I want to add to this that the original challenge proposed was one car
Yes.
under 30K. Mike arrived here and probably told me he had 10.
I have. Well, let's say
Oh,
9 of them are cars.
Okay. All right. We'll come back to that.
One of them is
Yeah.
a summer toy.
Oh,
Okay. We'll come back to that. You came in with 4 and you had to cut her down to 4.
And that was it. Yeah, that was a
Sean came in with, and then Dylan came with.
I came with 4, but I had 20 questions yesterday trying to narrow this down because I'm I don't know where to go.
Yeah.
There's so many options.
Yeah.
I
there's
picked
tons.
2
All right.
that are distinctly different, but both.
Do you want to start with your one?
yeah.
Sure.
Kick us off.
do
Okay,
it.
so the challenge was a car that I want to buy for fun for under $30,000.
Yep.
Okay. I think we all.
Now, and I went 30,000, not including tax, licensing. all
No,
that
no.
Same.
Oh, no, fair enough.
Just
Right.
looking
Yeah.
at the websites,
That's right. Yeah.
even though AutoTrader sucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, their website's terrible. We'll come back to that.
Yeah,
It's
we'll-
terrible.
And also, I'll warn you now, I did, good thing I took notes because my phone's in the car and I would have shown you gentlemen the photos, but I'm
No problem.
not going to be able
Well,
to.
problem,
you can,
I get that.
We can post them sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. My first choice, the price, $16,500.
Oh, wow.
Okay, leaving me money to
Have
maintain, repair,
Yep.
do whatever you got to do.
Well, you're sensible.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
think. I don't want to spend right at the budget. I am my father's son.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have this. He's an accountant, so there's some thinking here. My first car. I'm going to turn my turn my screen
right.
around.
Oh.
It's a 2018 Subaru WRX.
I
6-speed
never would have
manual.
guessed.
Right. I
Never
mean-
would have guessed.
Okay?
They're that cheap?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they're not necessarally they're high
To be
maintenance
honest with you, I
cars.
don't even know what a WRX costs.
Well, that-
new.
Oh,
Now
this
they're
would
50s, 50
no,
plus, are they
no.
not?
WRX now is a 30, starts at 32 and
wow.
goes up to 39.
What?
Well,
goes up to 40.
And I was just going to clarify, that is not an STI, nor
Nope.
is the one you can buy for
WRX.
30 something now. It's
WRX.
just a WRX.
Yeah, so
Okay,
225 horsepower kind of car,
Yeah.
4-wheel drive, 6-speed manual, 4-seater,
Yep.
so I can take friends out.
Sure.
I was specifically thinking, okay, I want to be able to use this car.
Yep.
And this is the kind of car that if it's a rainy night, doesn't matter. If it's cold and icy, doesn't matter. It's useful for everything. You put winter tires on it, it's unstoppable. It's better than an Audi's what do they call their system? Audi's Quattro.
Quattro.
The Subaru system is full-time all-wheel drive, working all the time.
Yep.
They're such a great car. This car has 150,000 kilometers on it, and it's 16 grand.
That's cheap.
That's
That's
a
a
And
good
this would have been
choice. That-
34 new kind of thing.
And what website are you on there?
Oh, it's AutoTrader.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
But you can see it's not like immaculate, but I liked it in a red because you don't see them in red very
Does look
often.
good.
And it's just it's a basic car.
Yeah. Yep.
But again, I can take all of us. We want a podcast from my new WRX. I'm ready.
Yeah. Put
know?
a cheeky little exhaust on there. Get that Subaru burble.
Yeah. Now
yeah.
this one, I believe in this year would still have the unequal length header, so you will get the burble. But after 2022, they changed the header so you don't get the burble anymore.
Well, then you just
It's
got to
gone.
buy headers with your exhaust.
Yeah, exactly.
With the 15 grand.
But yeah, I mean, you can see here, like just a nice overall, like nothing fancy, no fancy brakes, no expensive calipers, no expensive discs.
Yep.
Everything's
What
generic. on
year
purpose.
was this again? 2018?
2018. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, see, that is cheap.
Doesn't it?
Yeah,
and
that is
it's
cheap.
before. I don't want to get really nerdy on Subaru, but it's before they added that really intense body cladding to the
Cladding.
WRX,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
actually offended me at first, and I'm over it now. But this looks nice and clean, simple.
I like
Have
it.
some fun. That was my thinking. And
Are you going to be able to stay up late enough to go to the car meets?
And do you have enough?
what you trying to say?
Do you have enough vape?
You're in bed early.
Yeah, easy. 16.5. I
That's
got
a
13
buy.
grand to play.
That's a buy.
Yeah,
I
16.
did a lot of working on this. Okay, so that's one. I'm not
Honestly, it
gonna
never
lie.
even crossed my mind.
No.
Yeah.
But although I was scrolling the trader, there is a ton of those Subaru BRZs, whatever you call
Oh,
them.
so many.
A
I
ton
didn't
of
pick
them.
one.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't pick one.
Yeah, I didn't either. But there's
Anyway,
tons.
that's my number
I think
one.
they're pretty cool,
I welcome
but-
your
Yeah.
feedback.
No, I think that's
I think you meant
I think that's a buy.
Yeah.
16.5 feels like a good price.
Yeah, if you don't want any of
I'll
my
take a
vehicles,
chance
get that
on
one.
it. Yeah. I want to be fair. As a Subaru former owner, they're excellently, like, they start every time. They're reliable.
Yep.
They just use oil.
Yeah,
So you have to be up on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all.
okay.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Go, Mike.
Oil's cheap.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So I don't know if you guys recall my $60,000 choice last time.
Was it
Anybody?
that's tough to say.
Someone was a Corvette, but that wasn't you.
That was me.
No,
That was definitely Dylan.
I almost,
It was
almost
a-
got
It was,
another
it was a
one.
Nissan.
It was a Nissan
Yeah.
370Z.
It was a Z.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I went with that again, a 2017.
Oh, I saw this one.
350 or
370.
Really?
Nice color.
6-speed manual. It's yellow. 29.5.
Really?
Well, you're going right to the top of the old budget.
I am.
Yeah.
That's why I
Oh,
said
I'm knocking on
I
heaven's
can't-
door, too.
I can't license it. I can't tax it. Can't put tires on it. I'm there. So
Mike's going to be looking for that Vredestein.
I always loved these cars, even the Infinity G35s
Oh,
back in the
100%.
day.
Yeah.
Loved them. But
the G35s and the Zs always make a real nice exhaust
Yep.
note. They
Yeah,
have a
they
good
do.
sound. What's that
And I
engine
just like
called?
them.
VQ.
VQ? Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say some people have hated on the sound. I think they sound fantastic.
Oh, they
I
do sound
too.
good. They always
I just
did.
thought they were a cool car.
Yeah.
And a 6-speed.
That's a good choice.
Yeah.
I think you're. It's almost
Well, I
certain.
have
that-
more if you want more.
Well, no. We'll circle
We'll
around.
we'll back
but
on
I
you.
think you're right at the top end of the budget. Like, if
Yeah.
you have a problem with that, it's not easy.
You're the only person who did that.
This is so
way,
interesting.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
We said we had
30
30,000
grand.
to spend.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing.
Okay.
maintenance. You have maintenance on anything. So
Right. Yeah.
All right, Sean.
Okay.
Okay. So again, I've got a couple of honorable mentions that we'll get to after, but I think my first shout here is going to be, and I will say this is the only one that I could find in budget, and there perhaps is a reason, but it wasn't apparent to me based on the ad. So I've found a 2009 Maserati Gran Turismo.
oh yeah, I love it. I
Buying
love
an
it.
old Italian car.
Yeah, I
Holy
love it.
moly.
This is something Clarkson would do.
Oh, man.
It's up at 32,995, but they're going to do a deal on it, and I'm going to get it for
course.
30.
Technically, to the letter of the
Yeah, I was
rules
gonna
here,
say,
he's pushing
stretching the limit a little
bit
bit, right?
outside. We're over 10%
Well,
over.
you've got a lot to give him. Give him a
No,
2,000.
no. I don't loan money to people buying dangerous Italian old cars. Never in a million years.
So it only has 73,000 kilometers. It's black with platinum sort of silvery wheels. They're a dark gray.
Okay.
It's got a bright lipstick red interior.
I like that.
This is the 4.7 V8, which, as we all know, is perhaps one of the best sounding V8s
It
ever.
is. There's no
Yeah.
doubt.
When it runs, yeah.
Well, right. I mean, it's sort of set
Ooh,
this
shots
maintenance.
fired.
It says the clutches have been done. It has the F1
Okay.
automated manual thing, so those are problematic. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could just smoke around in this thing, and I mean, you got a just hope and pray that nothing goes wrong. Because to Ryan's point, you're going to get a bill, but you run it for a summer and then you get out of it. And
And you just LS swap it and away you go.
yeah, I mean, you've
Well,
got
it'd be more
Yeah.
reliable, but less fun. Yeah.
I don't know the lineage exactly, but there is some relationship to a Ferrari with the 4.7 engine. So I mean,
In the same way that a Dino has some lineage to a Ferrari?
no, I think it's even closer than that.
I understand what you're saying. I
Yeah.
think that engine is basically I think it might be a V8 where they lobbed off the first 4 cylinders from a V12. Is that the one?
that could be, or what's the displacement on a 4.58? 4.3,
Oh, I
4.7?
don't know that.
Don't know.
Yeah.
I honestly think it could. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You're getting.
Well, that would be 4.5. I'm pretty sure. That's how their
Oh,
nomenclature
yeah.
goes.
Yes, no, Mike is right.
4.5 8-cylinder.
Mike's right about that.
Whoa.
Oh, a 360 is a 3.6?
Yeah. You're blowing my mind.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that at all.
This is the guy buying a 430. And so yeah, that's probably a 4.3 V8, isn't
Yeah.
it? Or, yeah.
I don't know about that.
My mind is currently
yeah.
racing. That is
Well,
news to me.
We'll come back to you on that.
We'll
I'm
come
That
not-
actually
Okay.
kind of makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah.
I do believe I have heard that, so I'm going to take your word on it.
All right.
So anyway, you're going to smoke around in a $32,000 Ferrari. That's how I'm looking at this. And it's a good
You're
buy.
reaching, but I like it.
Yeah, this,
Right, okay.
this seems
You're
like
reaching.
a Top Gear US thing.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
Dale,
a
go-
wild pick.
Go ahead. You won't find another one.
We're going to not validate that because it's over budget.
I was going to say I'm tempted to discount that because it's over budget. It's a little risky.
Listen, I don't
Hey,
even
you know what? If I left any room in my budget, you can have it.
Sure,
Yeah, I don't think I
appreciate
did,
that.
but
That money ain't coming back.
Yeah.
that's fine.
I
Yeah,
could have
yeah,
lied
yeah.
to you. I mean, my phone's in my car. You didn't even have proof.
No, but you wrote it down.
Yeah,
it's
that's
on a
true.
piece of paper.
You have more on there?
Yeah. No, we're going around.
Yeah. Dale,
Okay.
which Mustang or Corvette are we going with?
Yeah, right.
What you guys can't see is that I'm laughing hard inside because I did my best not to pick a Corvette.
Oh, okay.
Or a Mustang.
Did you
wow.
succeed?
Which 30 grand gets you a lot of Mustang.
It does. I
Holy.
looked at a bunch. Yeah.
Oh my God. But no, I did not pick one. I picked 2015 6 Series BMW M convertible.
Oh,
okay.
Wait,
Yeah.
V10?
No, I don't know in 2015 if it was still.
No. You
No.
said 2000 what?
2015.
Oh, sorry. No, I don't think that's it.
No, I don't think so.
That seems like a lot of car for how much money?
30 grand.
Right on the
30
budget.
30.
Okay.
29.9 probably.
Okay, yeah.
Do we have an ad? I can't visualize what this 6 Series looks like. Is this
What
the
You know
color?
what? I
What
just
color?
passed
Is it
one
blue?
Wait here.
He's
No, it was
currently,
black.
he's currently
Okay.
pulling up the ad.
Oh.
Yeah. I just thought they've always looked really good. And it's 4-seater.
Yep.
2 plus 2.
Oh,
No?
wait.
yeah.
We're talking about a
'cause
Grand
this is a
Coupe.
convertible, you said,
Yeah,
not the
convertible.
Grand Coupe.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, this isn't. We can sort this out after. But
Yeah.
I'm not. So what I'm thinking of is the 6 Series that I think was a 2006. I thought that's what you said at the start.
Yeah, those have the big black, chunky square back end, and they.
Yeah, that was
What's that guy's name?
Yeah, no, this one, like,
Bengal,
comes
wasn't it?
back
Bengal
in.
design?
Angle. Yeah, yeah,
And it had a V10.
yeah. It definitely did,
But I don't
and
know.
it was available with a manual.
Briefly, that is true.
I know one.
Oh, yeah. There's
It's
tons
beat,
of
but
them.
it's fun.
Actually, to be honest with you, I probably wasn't even close to 30. You can get them in 25s.
Wow.
Well, it leaves you $4,000 to get the diagnostic checkup
get
when
the oil
something goes
change.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this app is so bad.
Don't use the
That's
app.
why
It's
I just
terrible. It's
screenshot.
terrible.
Yeah. While he's checking it, I'll just take this opportunity to just shout it again how shit the app,
Yeah.
AutoTrader app is. I mean,
AutoTrader,
it's so
please
frustrating.
don't
last-
ask
Honestly,
us to collab.
Well, AutoTrader, send us a rep. We'll
Yeah.
let them have it. 'Cause-
yeah.
yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah, tell us. Oh, I
But
think
like,
he's
I don't
nearing
know,
the
it
end.
looks like that. You know what I mean?
That's the Grand Coupe.
Well, this is because I
Just chop
I'm
the top
sick and
off.
tired of
Chop the top
waiting
off.
trying to find.
I think the Grand Coupe is a very good looking
Beautiful
car.
car.
Oh, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think you can go wrong with them. I tried. I was gonna.
black on black, triple black.
Yeah, everything was black.
Everything black.
Yeah,
Nice. 30 grand.
Yeah, it's like-
Decent.
yeah,
Do they have a soft top? Or would that?
yeah.
Yeah,
I think it
soft
did.
top,
Yeah,
right.
it was. Yeah.
Nice.
I looked at so many. To be honest with you, I'm trying to remember half of them.
It's an interesting choice.
There's so much under 30
For
grand.
2015, though, that seems like a bargain too.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So
was shocked.
Ryan's brought, I mean, mind you, a few years earlier, but a $35,000 car for 16. He's found a $120,000
Yep,
car for 30.
That's a good buy.
I
Maybe.
had, to be fair here, I had one. I probably should have said this at the beginning. My one goal was to make sure the car was a manual.
Ah,
Yeah.
So I felt pretty strongly that I wanted a manual
Yep.
car.
I did the same.
So this BMW, I don't think was available with a manual.
No, I would
and
agree with that.
wouldn't
I don't
have
think
been.
your Alpha would ever. What's it called? Not Alpha. It's Maserati.
Maserati.
Same thing.
Ferrari, let's be clear.
sorry. Yeah,
Sure.
It definitely was not available in manual.
Ferrari. And yours was yours
It was
would have
a
been
manual.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was looking for a
370s,
manual. Yeah. Should I go around on my?
Yeah.
Go on number
So
2.
originally, just to make sure the listener understands, the goal was
Under
one,
30.
No, the goal was one car under 30.
Yeah.
But we all
Oh,
couldn't
you
get
went
away
two.
without two. I picked two.
Yeah.
2 for
Okay.
30.
So I
okay.
went a completely different direction on number 2, manual.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn my screen around.
So, sorry,
Yes,
point of
go ahead.
clarification. Is this your both cars are within 30 or they're each?
They're both within. Oh, sorry. No. Each one is under 30.
Each
I'm
one is
sorry.
under
Yeah,
30.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So I
Well,
just
so
picked
are
2
mine.
because I
So are
thought,
mine.
hey, I thought it'd be. I couldn't come down to 1. It was hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the second one is a left field for me, but I always liked them. 6-speed manual, 2019, John Cooper Works.
I like this.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
here.
that's cool.
Black on black. I like minis.
Yep.
This is right before they went a little weird on the design.
Yep.
So this still falls in that like nice. You can get a manual. It's a 3-door. It's still got nice seats. It's got all like the typical like.
Yep.
You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
They didn't go a little weird on them yet, which I'm not super into the new
Yep.
designs.
And what's the price?
28,000.
Nice. Good.
And it's not high miles. I think it's 66,000 kilometers, and it's only a 2019. Like it's not old.
Yeah, no, that's a new car.
But I like minis, having driven them, and I got to be fair here. If you're willing to take a risk on a mini,
Yeah.
there are so many beautiful Mini Cooper S's from the second and first generation
Yep.
for like $5,000.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I looked
they're
at a bunch.
amazing.
I would love one of those. $5,000 just
they're
for
so
bobbing around.
cheap, but they are
Really?
BMW. So
Yeah.
everyone I know who owns one is like, hey, there's a maintenance bill here.
Sure.
Sure.
But yeah, I like this at that price, and it's not an old car. Like it's got all the modern tech. It's a 2019, but it would be just in that sweet spot before they started forcing me to take ADAS on everything.
Yep.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
so
Yep.
this would be right in that window.
Yep.
Anyway, a left
Good
field
choice.
turn. I
Good
like a
choice.
hot hatch. You guys know this.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is a nice car.
So-
I do like the. I mean, they're $50,000, but the brand new Mini, they have some great colors, great styling. The two-door ones in particular, they're-
Very much so, yeah. But I think the 2-door one is not available as an S anymore, right? It's only the electric now. I don't remember.
that I don't know, but yes, you're right. There is an electric variant and a gas.
Yeah.
I just think they look great.
Yeah, they do. That one, but the new, what do they call them?
Countryman or the
Yeah,
Ford-
whatever they're called. They all look
Volvos.
weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
they
look
do.
weird.
Yeah.
Mike, go.
Okay, I'm just going to list off a few. Sure. Because I have a bunch.
Again, the goal was 1.
Yeah. Well, the goal was 1, but I couldn't pick just one. You know
Right.
me.
Yeah.
So my next one is a 79, our good friends at Volkswagen,
Oh,
Beetle convertible.
nice.
Oh, baby.
And it's mint. I only screenshotted the main photo.
What color is that? Is
Oh,
it
this-
black?
It's black with a tan interior.
It's got
see that?
what are they
Wheel that
called?
over
Rally wheels. What
yeah.
are they-
Dylan get a chance to see. Oh, boy.
She's
Oh,
mint.
fancy.
It's
I like those
pricey
wheels.
enough. 28.9.
Is that market for one of those? I have no
I
idea.
have no idea. They used to be so cheap. Those
Okay.
things, right?
Okay.
I have no idea either. I'm guessing they've got some restoration costs in the interior
Oh,
looks
yeah.
brand new.
It was
doesn't
brand new. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next one, 85 BMW 318 manual again. 169,000.
An 85?
85.
Can I see a
like those
picture of
old
it?
school ones.
Yeah.
Like
this
a
is,
goldy silver.
I wouldn't-
is that a coupe or a convertible?
No, it's a coupe.
Okay.
I also.
Let me see that.
12.7.
Do not
12
tell me.
eight.
Don't say you picked the same car somehow.
Did you? No,
This
no,
is
no,
not a
no,
Top
no,
Gear
no.
episode where they wipe the poo off the seat.
No,
Okay.
no, that's definitely not it. It's just the
I like that car.
dealership.
2008 Pontiac Solstice.
I like
No,
a Solstice.
no,
No, I like
no.
a Solstice. I do.
GXP edition,
It's-
whatever that means.
Ooh, is it a
Oh,
coupe?
yeah, that's a fast.
It's convertible. 22,
GXP.
22.5.
A GXP with a coupe would be a car I'd have. They're really cool looking.
I don't know. It's got some cool white leather.
Is that just
tires,
like
it's
the
black.
ground effect stuff?
No, the GXP's got more. It's a supercharged or something.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
And the coupe version looks like a clown shoe from BMW.
Yeah, it
It's got
does.
the long rear.
Yeah,
I think it looks awesome.
Next one. This is right at the limit.
Oh,
it's
boy.
a well done, lowered 86 square body Chev truck.
nice.
You have literally been all over the place.
30
Show us a
grand.
picture.
Beauty.
Oh, that
Lowered.
is a nice looking
I would
truck.
It's a
like
nice,
that.
like, I don't know what you call that.
Is it green
color.
Yeah, that looks dynamite.
Beauty.
Yeah.
This is the left field. 2008,
the boat.
4 wins, 21-foot boat, 25 grand.
That's not a
What
bad
are you
price for
doing?
4 wins.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And then I found a
What's that
73
got in it?
914 for 24 grand.
That'll have an inboard outboard like a typical.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
but what is it? What does it got? Yeah.
Most 4 wins have a
225.
I have no
5-liter
idea.
Merc. No.
Yeah.
Does it say?
No, I didn't.
It'll
I
have
just
it'll have
screenshotted.
5-year
Yeah.
liter.
So we have 73 914 Porsche, 24 grand. That's a lot, no?
Let me see it. Oh, it's a nice car.
914?
Where is it based out of?
This is in
Yeah, that seems
Central
aggressive.
Elgin, wherever that is.
I'm not sure about those wheels, but
No, I don't like the
That's not
wheels.
quite right, but that's okay.
I got a
seems
72
aggressive.
again, Volkswagen Westphalia.
okay, I like
20
that.
grand. That's a lot.
For a Westphalia, I'd say.
You know what
That's
would really be interesting to know is
There's, honest to God, there one popped up today on like
Yeah.
somebody I know, and it was like $7,100.
Yeah, now we're talking.
what I
Right?
really want to know is if this was 3 weeks ago, would he have picked the Westphalia?
No,
Or is it only is
no.
it only the influence of the buzz?
I think it's the
It's
buzz
influence.
influence.
that's interesting.
Then I have another 91 BMW 3 Series.
Let me
God
see
forbid
that
they
one.
gave us a
Two-door,
Lambo.
17.5. It's clean.
Oh, that's nice.
It's nice.
Oh, that's
It's
your
what-
best pick.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Yeah,
That's
that's,
really
very
cool.
nice.
That's nice.
Yeah, yeah. He's not. He's asking all the money though,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
You'd
because
have
that's
to,
not a that's not
I
a M3 or anything.
think
Right.
You'd have to stay up
those
late.
are
They look
paint
like
match wheels.
Oh, they definitely are. I
they
saw
look
that.
white,
Oh, they
yeah.
definitely are. They look
Yeah.
like BBS meshy type.
Yeah, they are.
which
Yeah.
I like.
Yeah,
Nightmare to clean.
That's a good looking
too.
car. I always love that generation.
Me too. Me too.
So-
Yeah. And
Yeah,
the
you-
dashboard's
you
got a
and
nice
Ryan
layout.
could
I got
go
all
to.
kinds. That's probably my number 2. Square body. Love that too.
Yep. That'd be
Yeah.
a good summer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Geez, you didn't have any more, eh?
I could. I could.
At some point, I was thinking he was going to drop like a '70s Winnebago in there or something.
No,
like I was starting
no,
to wonder.
no.
Like,
toy hauler.
yeah, exactly.
I tried very hard to find something of that vintage of BMW, like a 3 Series. But again, AutoTrader wasn't working very well, and I just kind of gave up, and I forgot
it's-
about it. But
Yeah.
okay, so to be fair, I had 3 honorable mentions and then my actual choice. So the Gran Turismo was my honorable mention, which is why I didn't fuss too much over the price. But I am going to get it for 30 grand, so don't
Okay.
worry about that.
Right.
My 2 other honorable mentions were a 2016 Lexus RC 350,
Like
Nice.
which was a very good looking car. It was $39,995 with 60,000 kilometers.
Okay.
And again, like, they're not going to go wrong.
It's legendary Toyota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3.5, I think
I have no idea.
probably a Camry motor, but
When you looked at the picture, did the front wheel gap look bigger than the back?
yes.
That's almost always the sign of the RC.
yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, I think in terms of 2-door kind of coupe car, decent way to get around.
Yeah.
I also found, and I'm going to admit that I didn't even notice the thing, but so my mind went to, and I know Jeremy Clarkson at one point deemed this the worst car ever made, but a friend of mine has, was actually his first wife, but nevertheless, it's a Lexus RC, SC430, excuse me,
Oh yeah.
which has a V8 top
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. Totally. How much are they worth now?
Well, so I found when I thought
They're
this,
pretty bulbous, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're kind of round
Yeah.
and they have those weird, really flat
okay.
wheel design.
monoblock-ish
Yes.
looking
I
ones.
kind of
Yes.
looked at
Yes, I think they've actually kind of, at the time they were very,
Hideous.
well, yeah, I think we all agreed. It's like Art
It's a
Deco
blob.
or something. It's kind of come into its own, I think. Maybe that's
I
a
agree.
bold
It
statement.
definitely looks better now than it did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I found a 2002, dark blue, ivory interior, blue trim. It was very, very clean looking. What I didn't realize when I picked it out, so it's 20 grand, which I was like, oh, yeah, sure, great. It's an RC 300, or SC 300, excuse me, which I didn't know was a thing. That they made the same car without the V8, so it had a V6 in it, which probably explains the 20 grand. But it looks
never knew that.
it looks identical. So
I got to figure people who bought those are taking very good care of them too.
oh, totally.
Yeah.
And actually, I read something. These are having a bit of a renaissance. They're on the up in terms of value.
Buy now.
It was probably like real money that bought those, right?
I mean, I think
Oh,
they
I
were
think
probably
so.
like 70 grand back in 2002, right?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
they were a
It was
lot.
probably aggressive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting.
That's an interesting car. I would never have got there, Sean. That's interesting.
Yeah. So my actual choice, and if I go back to what Ryan said, I did sort of set out to find something that was a manual, and I also decided that it's got to be a convertible.
Okay.
I have a
Oh, okay.
Boxster.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I was driving over here today, and just you get the air, you get the noise,
Yeah,
you get
okay.
it's the whole experience. So I found, I have no idea if this is sort of fair market or if it's somebody looking to get the moon and the sun and the stars, but a 1998 BMW Z3M.
I love those.
Roadster.
Yeah.
So we all know what the clown shoe is. You actually
Yes.
mentioned it earlier.
Yes.
It's that
I
without
love those.
a top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the beautiful dark red?
No, better.
I love
it is
that red.
in
It's blue.
dun 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 Boston green.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow. Interesting. Okay.
So
Now, is this the one that was debuted in the Bond movie?
No, that's just
that's
the
an
regular
older one.
Z3.
Z3.
yeah.
Yeah. Like GoldenEye Z3.
Yeah, yeah.
Then he
Yeah.
moved to Z8
Correct.
in
Yeah.
World Is Not Enough.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good. This car's in Calgary, so presumably, I don't know what the history is. Maybe it's been elsewhere, but presumably it hasn't been exposed to a bunch of salt. 76,000 kilometers. It's got a gray two-tone black interior, and it's got those big hips. It had silver wheels. Great looking car, and he was asking 25. I think you're done deal at 23.5. You can smoke about
What's the name of the color?
Boston Green.
Boston Green.
They actually, it looks different, but you can order an X5 today in Boston Green.
Oh, yeah,
Is
yeah.
it that bright?
It's a dark.
bright
No, it's a dark.
kind of-
would be like that.
That's
Yeah.
it. You
That's
got
a
it.
great color.
That is a
It
good
is
looking
cool.
car.
Great car.
When I was growing up, my friend's dad owned a body shop, and he always had the cool cars that he bought like off the auctions that were half written off.
Yeah.
And he had one of these in like a stunning dark red, and we were all so jealous of it. He had like it would totally written off, and then he was driving basically a salvage car.
Yeah.
But like it was so sweet. It had a nice engine, red interior. I think this is a cool combo too. Probably has green leather available back in those days too.
Yes, and I believe our friend Jared had one with green leather.
Look at that. See, that's what I want right there.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
but,
So that's now we're looking at the Z3M Coupe, the clown shoe, in the
red
same color.
yeah.
I'm going to quickly search while you guys chit chat the Solstice GXP Coupe because
Okay.
I'm going to compare the two.
It's going to be very close to
Yeah.
that. Yeah. No, I followed your shoes on that one. All my cars that I picked or did not pick were convertibles.
Oh, nice.
And I didn't really go like car guy cars.
Yep.
Kind of just went like, oh, if anybody's looking,
Yep.
this is not a bad little rig.
Yep.
So 2016 S5 cab.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice
It's like,
car. I
like those.
20,
Yeah.
Great looking.
4
They're-
grand.
They're nice, yeah.
Yeah,
V6 supercharged.
Yeah.
Oh, no, would that be V8 back then?
Nope.
No,
Oh, S5 2000 what?
16.
It's probably a
No,
6, I
that's a
think.
6. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I thought that was great money.
Yep.
Yeah. I think those are
Age as well.
100%. That is historically the most beautiful Series A or A5, S5, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
The new one is good, but not as good.
Yep.
Those are great.
Yep.
Good. That's a good choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you.
But you could.
I'm here for you, man.
In a pinch, you could put 4 in there. Yeah. It's got a back seat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care what they say about you, but I support you.
What color did you say?
I don't know. I didn't write it down.
All right.
I wasn't that specific. I'm not buying these things, so
Yeah.
unlike
say
Shawn
that-
here.
you say that now.
Sean's
got bids on all
sales
these.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, bids. He's got 9 sales guys on the line
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
They're all thinking they got a sale. Also, honorable mention 996 cabs. They're like $28,000 bucks now.
Yeah, they're not expensive. Yeah,
They're pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Audi TTs,
Oh yeah.
Great
I
car.
went there. I looked.
2017.
I tried with the AutoTrader app to look at TTSs.
Yeah,
and it just kept struggling.
Well,
So I was like, I'm
you
done
can't-
with this.
I don't think you can get an S on under 30K.
You think so?
Under
Okay.
32.9.
I think you're right. I'm pretty sure I found one. It
Oh, did
was
you?
a unremarkable exterior color, but it had. Do you guys remember? And I actually didn't pay that much attention to them at that time because it was a bit of a hairdresser's car when they first came out. It had the baseball glove. Oh, is that
What do you
PC?
mean- what do you mean by
Can I
that?
say that in 2025? Maybe not.
I'm not offended. Don't worry.
Yeah, you guys didn't even know barbershop is.
I drove a Miata, man.
It had it's literally baseball glove leather. Like the side of the seats are stitched like
Really?
wrapped with a It.
Well, that's pretty sweet.
I'll send. We can share it. But I did find one. My head went there too. That's a good
Yeah,
call.
my head also went to the those Mercedes, those little 2-seaters, CLKs or SLKs.
Compressor.
Yeah, well, that's the CLK or whatever.
CL.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
and
Compressor
then
with
there's
a K.
SLK.
Yeah.
SLC, I think.
SLC?
Honestly, Mercedes.
Yeah.
Their nomenclature is
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
but whatever
confusing.
those two, like
We know what you're talking
two-seaters,
about. Yeah,
little
yeah.
convertibles.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're pretty good too.
My mom has one. It's a nice car.
Yeah, 2008, you're like well under 30.
Oh God.
Shout
yeah.
out Sean's mom. She follows our Instagram.
Oh, shout out!
Bam, bam, bam. Yeah.
There's so many.
I mean, I think the answer to this probably, if we're talking about convertibles, is a 986 or 987 Boxster.
Yeah,
Agree.
Purposely avoided that because it's cliche and
Agree.
I have,
Yep.
so,
Yep.
but yeah.
Yep. Okay, let me just quickly mention from Mike's comments, Pontiac Solstice GXP.
Yep.
I could not support him more. I think they're an interesting car. Remember, it's basically just a Saturn Sky
It is,
underneath.
yeah.
That's my biggest beef with
According
it,
to
but-
the internet,
Ah.
which I'm on now, they made 32 GXP coupes.
Come
That's
on.
it, 32.
really?
Look at this.
That looks
I
good.
think they are a very good looking car. 32
Does that
GXP
not look
coupes.
like the Sky? identically.
Well,
Yeah, it's very close.
Should.
Look, see?
It should.
oh shit, I gotta say, I mean that has some wheels
That's
on
a
it.
horrendous interior.
They
Yeah.
just. I mean, to be fair, look, this is Corvette levels of interior,
Yeah.
right? There's nothing to it. But I do like the car, and the coupe in particular, I think is very good looking, and I know where there's one, and if we ever want to buy it, it sits on the guy's driveway forever. I mean, he's gotta.
It's better than the convertible. I'll say that.
Oh yeah, I think it
Yeah.
looks fun. Look, let's do the
But you
direct
mean
comparison.
you're telling me you've
There.
seen one of these?
Yeah, silver.
The one of 32.
I can't
don't
tell
know
you
if
if it's
it's
a
a
GXP.
GXP.
I don't know that.
But it's a hard. So
But it's a coupe.
What
and
is what is a one of 32 car?
they made
like this
under
cost?
500 coupes. There's a small number.
So-
When I looked on the internet.
I
What
will.
does that? What does that cost?
Yeah.
It's hard. I'm sorry. Let me see if there's a price on it.
I will admit, I'm not sure that I was thinking of the convertible, which is ugly. I don't think that's great. I actually think that looks kind of like a TVR.
Yeah, okay. And I want to be fair. I quickly read this while we were. So I've made one error. There are 32 coupes in this color. I'm sorry. There are a
okay.
total of 781 that were ever made.
Okay, but that
Still
makes
low
it.
for
Yeah,
Pontiac.
that's a pretty low production number car, and I think they're pretty cool.
So-
I'm not rushing out to buy one, but I think they look good.
Is that like a T-top or a Targa? What
It's just it's a removable roof, like the kind of Miata. It's like a removable chunk. It's just gone.
yeah, but
Targa.
the back doesn't remove, right?
no.
Boy, you think that the Bud's buffets badly.
You never know, because the Miata RF is similar to this, effectively, right? It just folds the top down in the back, and it would be open topped like that.
If it doesn't have like buttresses, isn't it open in the middle?
I don't know that actually.
Maybe
I don't
not.
remember that.
You might be right.
I don't think so.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I just wanted to point this out that I actually quite like these, and I support Mike's thinking. The
you go.
convertible I like too. I've never driven one, but I always thought it's a really nice styling exercise
Yep.
for a reasonably priced.
I think
car.
that that is a good find, Mike. I'll give that to you. That's not a bad looking car. The fact that it's kind of based on a Saturn Sky is my biggest problem with
I
it.
agree. No, I totally get it. I get it. So the GXP was supercharged, right?
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
a big difference. You go
Yeah.
from like a 1.8 to like a 1.8, with an extra 60 horsepower
Sure.
or something, right?
It's like a Vibe GT motor.
That's
in
right.
there.
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
god!
2.4.
Hey man, the Vibe GT was a reliable car. It's a Toyota drivetrain, 1.8. It's a Toyota engine.
I drove a Vibe GT all the way back from BC through the mountains once.
Yeah,
Really?
Just
Yeah.
absolutely screaming the balls off.
Oh, right to the floor and there's transports
Yeah, but it's
passing
a
you.
Toyota.
It's horrendous.
It's a Toyota. They can be revved
was
like that. They
awful.
take a beating. This was interesting, fellas. You guys
was.
have been all over the place.
Yeah,
on
we
this.
have.
This was
Yeah.
interesting.
Did you finish up?
Yeah, we're good. 2 cars. I only picked 2 because I stuck to
Oh,
the
you follow
rules.
the
Except
rules.
I doubled the rules. Sort of.
Again, I
didn't-
maintain you can still have my Gran Turismo. That'll be your third.
I don't buy old Italian cars. There's no
I think that's a good
way.
choice if you can get it under 30.
Oh shit! Yeah,
You're gonna need the budget of another car to maintain it. You
that is
just
true.
know.
That is
right.
Maybe.
I'm nervous. I can't
Just
do it.
do what Kel
Can't do it.
does. Wash it once a year. Just drive it.
Yeah,
That's
just
right.
abuse her.
Make sure
She
there's
always
oil
comes
in
back
it.
home.
Yeah. It's true that if you use a car, it might actually live better.
I don't feel so bad about my comment now. That one takes the cake.
Talking about cars.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1 hour, 23 minutes, fellas. That was a
holy
long
smokes.
run. That's
Yeah.
what happens when we talk about the buzz for 15 minutes at the beginning.
Yeah.
Still made an impression. Anyway,
Wow.
like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Instagram. Mike posted some really nice photos of a couple of Cayennes today. We're trying to convince our esteemed colleague across the table here to buy a Cayenne. So
Yeah.
Once again, as we said, buy cars that have interesting colors because the yellow one sold for $11,000 more than the green one.
yeah, and the green one I think was an interesting color on
Yeah,
its
so
own.
did I. Yeah, I know. And
Anyway,
it sounds so fast.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
Mike
on-
put a poll up, so
Yep. And on the top of it, interesting colors. Kaleidoscope is coming up. What do we got, Ryan? 5-6 weeks left to go. Registration.
well, that's a good
closing
question, Mike.
June,
About
soon.
6-7 weeks. I think we were 8 weeks last week, so,
Okay, so-
something like that.
Be here before you know
registrations-
it, so.
Registration's going okay. Ticket sales are okay. It's hard, right? The weather's not quite. We have a wonderful day today, but people got to get in the headspace. They
Yeah.
Yeah, people got to get in the cars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm doing a site visit there this week again, getting some my measuring wheel and my details. I've got my sketches. I got to go over there and meet with all these people. But no, things are okay. Can't really complain. Test fitting some new hats here. Mike's rocking the new hat. You can
yeah.
see it
Great
there.
on Mike.
Yeah, it looks great.
We might put some up for sale. We'll post a photo and gauge some feedback on them.
Mm-hmm.
But we've definitely got T-shirts coming. We know that. We're going to sell T-shirts at the event. We know that now.
Nice.
Cash only because we're not a business and we
Cash
don't
money.
want that stuff on the books.
No.
The government likes to take a chunk, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway.
My
All
friend
good.
bought a ticket this week. Get yours.
Good.
Sweet.
Yep.
Thank you for that. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll catch up next week. Anything you want to drop in?
That's it.
Nope.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
We're outie.
Thanks.
Bye.
Pew, pew, pew.